Buying a home can just be such a daunting task, and it doesn't matter how old you are or what stage of life you're at. Man, buying a house is really a lot of work in your home country. But what about if you live outside of your home country? Hi, my name is Sarah, and I currently live in Krakow, Poland. I've been here for 5 years now, and I really enjoy it here, but I do bounce back and forth between Poland and the US. So about a year ago, my husband and I decided that we were ready to buy real estate abroad. And so we bought a house in Poland, and today I'm just going to sit through and talk to you guys about the entire process, why we bought a house here, what we looked for, the process that we went through, and all of that. So in case you are looking to buy in Poland or you are interested in learning more about the real estate process outside of the US, hopefully this video is helpful to you. But before we get started, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. I am going to be putting out new content twice a week, so Tuesdays and Fridays. I would love to have you stick around. We're going to be talking a little bit more than just Poland on my channel, so stay tuned. We have some exciting changes coming up, and I would love to have you guys stick around for that. So let's go ahead and dive into all about real estate and the house buying process. So as with many places in the world, there are multiple ways to buy a house, right? You can already buy it from an owner privately, you can buy it from an agency, or you can buy it as a new build from a developer. At least in the US, I don't know how often it is that you would buy like an apartment building from a developer. I know they exist, I know they're there, but it doesn't seem to be as common as buying like a big home. And here in Europe, it's more common to buy small apartments just because the cities are bigger, but the space is smaller. So they're trying to maximize where they can. And yeah, that's kind of like the three main things that you can do specifically in Poland. But again, if you're just buying in general. So in February of 2023, my husband and I just started to kind of look around at the real estate market here in Poland and to really see what we were looking for. We don't plan on staying in Poland long term. Actually, we hope to leave within the next few years and just kind of move onwards with our life. But we still wanted to purchase rental property, and it's never a bad idea to do that, especially when the market in Krakow continues to grow and scale the way that it has. And so we were just really excited about that. So we just kind of started looking around. We knew we didn't want to purchase from an owner or an agency. We knew that we wanted a new build. And the reason was because we kind of wanted to make it our own. And I know you can do that with a renovation, but to us, it just seemed like a new build offered better bang for our bucks. So we started looking around at different developments in town, and we ended up stumbling upon this really nice one called the NoHo Investments, and they have multiple different ones around town, but that's the one that we decided to go with. Now, the thing you need to know is if you go the route that we did of buying a new build, it's going to take a minute before you move in. As you can see, I'm still in my current apartment, and I bought this 13 months ago. It's a really long process, and it's because whenever you purchase a new build, the developer wants to make sure that they have a certain amount already sold before they just go ahead and continue to build, because they just need to make sure it's worth their money. And so that's what we did. We just went to the developer. We said, we like this. This is how many bedrooms we're looking for, the square footage, price, etc. They gave us a few options. We chose the one that we liked the most and signed on the dotted line, paid, and then we waited. So you have to really be patient, and that is why they call it an investment property, is because you don't get that instant gratification like how you would if you went through an owner or like a private owner or an agency. So then why didn't we just get the instant gratification and move in instantly, especially when it comes to a home owner and like buying someone private, right? So there are a few ways to do, obviously, purchasing a home. So you can get a loan, which can like a mortgage, which happens whenever you have a Polish job for X amount of months, and you can really prove that income coming in from a Polish entity to your Polish bank account, then you can get a percentage. They also have what they call a first-time home buyer thing now in Krakow, where I think interest rates are really low, and so that's also another option. Or you can always just pay cash. So because we don't have Polish jobs, we both work outside the US or outside of Europe, and we work in the US, we couldn't prove that we had Polish incomes. So that mortgage was off the table. And again, we couldn't apply for the first-time home buyer because, again, we didn't have a Polish job. So the only option for us was to pay cash. And we are very fortunate to have done that. So we did. We paid cash for our entire place. And I feel very grateful because now I can move into my new home in the next few months and be completely mortgage free. And I think that's very exciting. And if we, when we do decide to rent out this place in the next few years, it's going to be really nice to just have that income coming through because I already own that apartment. So because we decided to go with a new build, of course, we went through the developer and we purchased the actual shell of the property from the developer. So that's just the walls, the floor plan. That is what we personally have right now with our apartment. It is unfinished. And so that's the other half of buying a new build is they'll give you the keys. So for us, they'll give us the keys in 2 months. And then we have to finish it ourselves. And we knew that going in, and that was something that we had to really make sure that people that we knew, and the developer made sure that we knew, is we have to still finish the rest. This is not the end of it. So I'm also letting you know, if you did decide to do one of these investment properties, you do have to finish it yourself. And there are a few ways to go about that. You can either do it yourself. If you are handy, we are just not that patient, so we're not going to be doing that. Another option is to hire individual contractors to do the work for you. Again, that's fine if you speak Polish and we speak B1 Polish. It is not good enough to have conversations with contractors and complicated back and forth information exchanges with people to make sure we get what we want and to get it done on time. So that was out of the question to us. So then another option was to do a finishing company. And with these finishing companies, they're quite popular here in Poland. And for people who don't know, a finishing company is you go to them and you say, hey, here is my apartment. It is completely empty. Here's the floor plan. This is what I want. Make it happen. And they do everything for you. They do the design, they help you pick out the material, they plan everything out for you, they work with you to make sure that is what you want, they can move things around, they can do all of this stuff before you get the keys. And then once you get the keys, you hand the keys over to them, and you say, work your magic, I want it to look exactly like how it does in this 3D model that you've given me. And then I think they said 10 to 12 weeks, we get the keys back and we can move in. There's no stress, there's no hassle, it's actually a perfect solution. And what's even better is that we get a VAT discount because they buy everything in bulk. And so because of that, we get a big discount because of that. So if we were to price this out individually, it would actually be a lot more expensive than it is going through these finishing companies. So we contacted a few different ones, I think in April 2023. And yeah, we kind of got quotes from different people and all of that. We reserve something in April 2023. It is now March 2024. So we reserved pretty much a year in advance simply because the demand is so high, especially in Kraków. They are building constantly. There are so many new builds going up. It is actually insane to see how many developing buildings there are coming up. And when you think about all the buildings, how many apartments are there inside? So we wanted to really make sure that our name was in there nice and early. And yeah, we actually meet with them next week. So I've spent the last few months really coming up with a must-have list to give to them. So like thinking of every room in the house, what do I want here? What do I want here? Coming up with the overall design of the house, like, kitchen cabinets. What about the stone for the kitchen? What about washer dryer in the bathroom? The hardwood floors the style, that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort, but I think because I have all of this inspiration for them and this hard concrete detail, it's going to make it a bit easier for them whenever they go to put it all together. And kind of like I was mentioning before, like how this finishing company is just really a one and done situation, and why we really like it is, number one, the English thing is really important for us. Again, while we can speak Polish, it's not going to be good enough to get what we want and to communicate what we need. And if you are a Polish person, of course, you can't do the individual contractors. We've just talked to so many people who've done the individual contractors, and the time frame is always extended. The budget always goes up, and the contractors are not always reliable or dependent, whereas going through a company like how we are, the company takes care of everything and they are on a contract to deliver what they said when they said. So that's kind of why we did it that way. But again, to each their own. However you want to do it, there's no law saying that's what you did or what you need to do, but that's actually just what we did, and I feel really happy with that decision. So why did we choose a new build, and what did we look for in a new place? So the main thing that we looked at for this property is it's an investment for us. So we were looking at something with a high ROI, and to us, this meant something that was in a really good location, close to bars, restaurants, grocery stores, public transit, city center, something that's going to make it a very desirable place for people to want to live as the years go on. Because like I said, we're not going to be living here forever. We're actually wanting to leave in the next few years. And so if we can rent this out, it's going to be even better. And so where is the best location for us to do that? And the place that we found really is a lovely location. So for us, this place really checked off all of the things that we were looking for, right? And this development is incredibly prestigious. And we were reading that it's like the most prestigious place in, or developer in Poland. And we feel very fortunate enough to have purchased something from them because we know the value will hold and it will only continue to increase. So for instance, when we purchased this place in February 2023, we paid 16,000 zloty per square meter, which is still really high, right? When you think about real estate prices compared to what they used to be a few years ago. But then over the summer in 2023, the developer called us and said that the value actually has increased by 50%. And now I look at places online that are selling apartments in our complex. They're already selling it already, just as like the shell, just to kind of turn around and make money. And they're selling for almost 30,000 zloty, almost double what we paid, and it's not even furnished yet. So I do feel like it was a great investment for us, and I'm really excited about it. And I do feel that for us, it was worth the money because it's going to continue to hold its value. So details is our apartment is around 57 square meters, has a bedroom, an office, a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and a balcony, as well as a garage, like a parking space and a storage unit. So the storage unit was very important to us because 57 square meters is not that large. And, it's just nice to have the extra storage space. So the other thing that this development has are incredible amenities. And that was another thing that really drew us to this place. So it has a kids' playroom, it has a gym, it has like a kitchen entertaining area, it has a cinema, just like a whole bunch of things that is for use for the residents. And also inside the development, it's going to be a bunch of bars and restaurants and cafes like inside the development. So it's going to really become like a city within a city. So it's going to make it very attractive to people, and also included in our monthly payments, I guess, to just like upkeep the building. It comes with an app. So the app is like tied to all of the amenities. So we can reserve the kitchen if we have a big dinner party and we want to just like have 20 people over, and we can just rent out the kitchen. We want to hire a nanny or a massage therapist or book a sauna. Like we can do all of that with the app, and it's all included. So it's very bougie, it's very luxury, but I'm very okay to do that because I think it's, number one, it's just going to make the experience living there really great. And it's also going to make it very attractive for other people. So tips for you, if you are wanting to purchase property in Poland, or you are thinking of purchasing property outside of the US, some things to consider. It makes it a lot easier to purchase property if you are a foreigner, if you have cash on hand. I know not everyone has that. If you do have cash, it's a great way to move it around and just secure something for yourself, whether it's this vacation home, an investment property, kind of like how we are looking at it. Doesn't really matter. If you have the cash, it's going to be a lot easier for you to purchase something and just not live here full time. Now, if you are looking for something and you don't have any cash, of course, don't have cash to pay the full price, do what you can for a down payment just to make it a little bit easier, and really look at what you're going to get for your money. So, obviously location is a thing that you cannot change. You can change anything else on the inside, but you cannot change the location. If you're on a really busy street with no public transit and traffic is awful, that may not be the best location for you unless there's a reason for you to be there. So I would just really take all of that into consideration because there's so many places to live. But also don't compromise on what matters to you. So for me, I was not willing to compromise on lighting. I really wanted to have south-facing windows. I wanted something new. I didn't want to have to completely remodel like an old building. I wanted all the amenities, something new. And I was not willing to compromise. And so I also knew that I needed 2 bedrooms. So 1 bedroom to sleep in and 1 is like an office. So it's important for me to have that. And we looked at a few places that were just 1 bedroom and we're like, could we make it work? No, you can't. You just have to, you cannot compromise on the things that matter to you. Another tip is to don't spend more than you can afford. I know that these places can be so expensive and it's really daunting to look at the price tag, but do not spend any more than you are willing to afford or willing to do for the extra payments, just because you don't want to get yourself into trouble or feeling really stressed about finances. So if you can't afford a house right now, you know, maybe wait a year or so, but also know that the prices are not going down. So that's actually very unfortunate. Prices have just gone up so much in town, especially in Kraków, not so much in like the smaller cities kind of surrounding Kraków, but at least in Kraków, it's just insane. I'm not sure about other places in Poland, but I can only imagine that things are continuing to just go up and up. So if you are thinking about purchasing, you know, weigh the pros and cons about affordability and what things are going to continue to do in the future. So there you have it. That is just a little bit about our house purchasing journey, why we've purchased the place that we did, and what we're really looking forward to. We, again, have that meeting with our designer next week to go over everything that we're going to put in the house, and I'm so excited about that. It's going to be amazing. So we will definitely take you guys along as this process continues. I'm very interested to see how it all goes. Hopefully it goes smoothly and that there are no bumps in the road. But yeah, we'll get the keys in a few months and we get to kind of just inspect the empty shell of our apartment to make sure that it is what we want and that there's no defects or anything. And then we're going to start the building inside process, which is going to be so cool. So again, we will take you along for that ride. So be sure that you are subscribed so you can really see our place come to life and the vision that we have really show up. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope you found this video helpful, and please share it if you have someone who is looking to purchase property overseas or is just interested in learning more about real estate. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.